Yo, welcome back. Appreciate y'all for watching, coming back as always. But this time we're gonna basically get into a little bit of Chanel, a little bit of alternator issue that we had with my black main Miata, this one here. But yeah, man, it's the alternator thing was interesting. I had some bits of video, you may have seen it on Instagram and whatnot, but dude, it is so insane to see if you buy a reman, which is pretty much the history of everything. I bought a reman alternator new from O'Reilly's. Basically bought it sitting on the shelf just as a spare in case I needed it. When I was taking a photo shoot probably 6 months ago with Dell. So Dell, if you're watching this, what's going on, sir? But otherwise, died in the parking lot. So had my wife bring it to me, brought it here, got it swapped out real quick, not too bad. Got home, no issues, lasted for about 6 months. That alternator died because it has a lifetime warranty, yay. Took it to O'Reilly's, let them know what was going on. It tested fine on their machine, but their machine didn't really, I don't know, put load on it, I guess. They have you strap it down, they put the little belt on there and everything, but even though it passed there, it smelled like it was burning. And before, with this car, it pretty much was, when I was driving it, I could see with my gauge on the interior, that tells me the voltage, basically just slowly started dropping down. And anytime that ever happens, I know it's either my belt has come off or my alternator's dying. That's pretty much what told me there was an alternator issue in the first place, the first time. So needless to say, drove it home, or didn't make it home, died literally way before I even got back. Car was starting to overheat, you know, the normal stuff, because the fans aren't running, car's running off battery only lasts so long. So pull over, had my buddy drag me back in his truck, which you may have seen a video for that. But after he dragged me back, then it started going through, you know, the O'Reilly's process to get a new one in. And yeah, wasn't bad. Took it there, tested it. It smelled like it was burning a little bit. I couldn't smell that with all the other, you know, smells going on in the car, but they could smell that. So they were willing to go ahead and swap it, which is perfect. So swapped it out, thought we were good to go. Well, didn't turn out to be good to go at all. So you can watch the video for portions of that, but long story short, swapped out 3 of them. Had a good time, good time. So had to ultimately go to them in person in order to let them know, like, hey, I'll change it in front of you, takes 15 minutes, whatever. If this was any other car, I'd be pissed. I'd be just furious. But the guy was nice enough to work with me, so I brought it there, swapped it out. Still had the same kind of problem. So yeah, I'll give you some other tidbits in there. Alternator spinning, the other fan hooked up this time instead of this one. So we'll see if it makes any difference when the fans kick on, but we're currently sitting at 12.9. You give it some gas, it'll go up to 14 and whatnot. So we're looking good right now, but let's see what happens here. And now we're back down to 11 before we get anything going. Even before the fans kick off. So let's see if everything's still doing what it's supposed to. All right, quick thing, just comparing the 1.6 and 1.6. This is my old one that died before I replaced this one. So I'm gonna take both O'Reillys, just have them test both out, make sure they work. I assume this one should be bad, but this one should be good. The only thing that's interesting, ignore me putting a 1.8 piece on here. There's no noise for that. Like there's a little bit, but not much, compared to this one where I don't think it's supposed to do that. Okay, we're off the jumper. Giving it gas and still not catching. Just running off the battery. So let's swap the existing one we know works. Okay, car not on the jumper. We have the old alternator in from Chanel once again. And oh, look at that. We're doing what we're supposed to do. So I'll be going back to AutoZone. I'll bring this with me, I guess, and then do the swap in front of them, see what they have to say, since it's not working with the new one. All right, new alternator in. It's the Auto, 65 amp. Let's see what we get. Fingers crossed here. Normal Miata things. If you know what that is, let me know. Oh my goodness. Oh my days. It's working. Holy smokes. It's working beautifully. Beautifully. I'm not doing nothing. This is all it. Nice. We'll see how it does on the drive. We're back, baby. Hallelujah. And finally, after swapping all these alternators out, we're good to go for the time being. This is the automatic one, so doing a lot better in the grand scheme of things. It's holding voltage and everything. I still don't think it's going to be enough with all the other stuff I have going on, especially because I have the fans hot wired together, which I hate, but it is what it is just to get it going, because the relay stuff wasn't working anymore for me. So just gotta do what you gotta do. But I'm probably gonna swap it out again in the future with a like 120 amp alternator from a Kia Spectra, I think is what it is. So that's what I've been getting some notifications on or messages from when I started this whole alternator journey. So we'll see if that is the answer for all the amp draw that I have with all the lights, the fans, all the accessories, everything. But now it's time to get Chanel right. We're gonna swap in, well, we have the coilovers on already. You saw that before, but now that they're on, they need to bring them up. I didn't even really adjust them too much. I tried to get them close to where the original one was. Worked all right, you know, car was perfectly low, no problem there, but it was rubbing on the front. So fixed that, raised it a little bit, made it to where, you know, I could at least drive it. So yeah, everything seems to be working well now. Now we can really get on with everything else we got to do. All right, so now we can start the car, get it going, and then see if we rub and do all the things like we usually do, and go from there. So let's go for a quick drive around the park. All right, doing the thing. Feels a lot better. I think this is actually the first drive I've had with the alternator, the coilovers themselves. So I definitely need gas desperately, but that's a problem for another day. Right now, we're just making sure we can drive. All right, we're going through a bunch of stuff today on this portion of things, but last thing that we were leaving off on was finishing up the lenses. Pretty much got this side looking pretty perfect, aside from, you know, the edges. I'm going to redo this one again, bezel, just to change it up a bit. And then this one, because I had to redo this rib nut that was down here, it's at a different angle when I put it back on. So there's a little bit of a gap now compared to when it was flush before, but yeah, it's all good. Minor things. So now we're pretty much putting in the battery tie down situation for Chanel, which I should have did for Brutus years ago. Pretty much using one of these Optimum battery holders. Use some rib nuts underneath, drilled some holes, you know, just 3 of them should do for a battery, but drilled some holes, put it through, and then basically traced out the battery itself. This is some normal Neil foam or like yoga foam type deal. Cut it up to shape to basically fit perfectly within here. So we can kind of use this as like an adapter to cut out the space to where this battery is going to sit. It will just sit right in the center, and then we'll tie it down from the other side. So assuming all that works, should be pretty good. And then we will need to cut these and trim these up just a little bit so the height will work. But aside from that, we're almost there. All right, we have our piece cut out. Battery sits all the way flush to the floor, and then we just need to obviously cut these up a little bit. So we'll just take a little bit of meat off the top just so it sits in there flush, and then it'll be nice and tight and can't go left, right, up, down, whatever. So let's knock this out, trim these up, and get going. Okay, so we finally got it in there all the way. Just had to cut this bar a couple more times just to make it, you know, close enough. But should be able to tighten this down a little bit more just to make sure everything's nice and flush, and should be set. But I mean, as is, it ain't going anywhere, luckily. So we're good to go. We can put this car on the ground. I really want to swap. Well, I guess I haven't told you guys yet. I got a torsion diff 4.1. So if you follow my Instagram, posted on there for a brief moment, but I need to throw that in. And every time I keep forgetting how much extra work it is going to be, taking the exhaust off, and then taking the old drive shaft out, taking all the axle seals, all that stuff off again. So yeah, it's hot. So I don't feel like doing that today. We'll just leave the welded diff in for now, and then we'll do that another day, because we do still need to take these out and swap over the polys that are in the drift one currently. So these are, you know, ancient good times, but yeah, we'll see if we can't knock those out here in a bit while we get everything else with the tie down done and put this back on the ground. All right, Chanel did fantastic. No issues. We had a little rubbing here on the front in that bottom corner, but we just put a rib down on the underside so that way it doesn't move even if it touches the tire a little bit, and raise it up like a half an inch, quarter of an inch either way on this side, because that's the only place we were rubbing. The other side, we were doing pretty damn good. No complaints on either end now, so we're looking good height-wise. Not rubbing anywhere, battery's not sliding around anywhere. So I think at this point, we are pretty much ready for this car to go to the track if we want to go. It's just too hot. But we definitely need to get this portion in really before we go to the track, so I guess I need to knock that out. It won't be today, but it needs to get done. And then this car, we'll keep working on all the things, as always. Mainly a new lens. We'll probably just make it work with the angle that we're using for this, and then we'll just move it out a little bit further. But this side, perfect. This side's good to go. Like I said, we just need to redo the bezel edges and we should be good. So a successful day of car work overall. I need to definitely hit the GX. I need to hit the GX just because I need to do the radiator stuff. That needs to happen sooner than later. So maybe I'll do that tonight. Right now I need to go to the store. So I can't do it because it's gonna get hot, but you know, little things. So appreciate y'all for watching, man. Still got more to go, but appreciate y'all for watching anyway. Let's keep it going. All right, we're back out here sweating it out in the garage, as you can see. Working on Chanel this time, and we're working on getting that diff in. So didn't want to do the diff last time. I just realized how much effort it was gonna be. So put it off, you know, and then now it's kind of time to get back into it. So we're here now going through the motions of taking the diff bushings out. So, you know, the fun process. I'm not burning them out. I'm doing it the old fashioned way with a little manual labor, but this is the end result. Boop, boop, split them in half, keep going. So pretty much on this side, I already started, but I figured I'd record it, I guess, for a minute just for you guys. But yeah, pretty much using, what do you call this thing? Ball joint removal tool. So you pretty much can put that in, and to get the little rubber, I guess, metal sleeve that's in there out. So that way you can fold in the corners over and over again. Just keep hitting it with a hammer. And yeah, eventually it'll split, because there is a split in the very center of it. So that should split and then let you kind of separate them overall. But yeah, that's pretty much what I'm about to go through right now. Just using the old fashioned I think this is a 5-pound hammer. Yeah, 5-pound hammer and a chisel. Little muscle, just beating in the edges. So just starting out like so we're not hitting the aluminum or anything. Just beating them in, going around until we get to the end. So let's keep it moving, shall we? Okay. Let's keep her going. We're making good progress so far. Okay, tired, but this is where we're at so far, about halfway through. Pretty much pushed in, split it and pushed it in. So that way this side will hopefully get pushed in enough to where it'll just fall out. And then, yeah, we'll just keep going. Do the same thing the other side. The other side should be loose once that one falls out. So we'll see what happens here. Keep it going. Hey, of course I cut to the part where we're right at. It was close to come out, but it wasn't right there until, of course, I turned the camera off. So at least you get it falling out. Ta-da, one, and see if we can get this one out pretty easily now that it's split up. One hit, boom, easy peasy. All right, it only took 20 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, give or take, just repeatedly beating it with a hammer, and yeah, away we go. So now we can take the old diff out, which is right here, and that is our welded diff. So we'll get that out of here, drop all the exhaust stuff. Man, I feel like I should put the other exhaust on if I'm going this far, but you know, the headache of working on cars. Anyways, yeah, we'll take that one out, put this one in, and keep going. Okay, back out here. We got a few things out of the way for the most part. Yeah, we had a monsoon, first of all, yesterday, so ignore my rusty wheels stuff, rotors and whatnot, but otherwise, yeah, we're moving along, getting the diff out and everything. Everything seems to work well so far, so keep going. Here's the battlefield so far. Got the wheels, axle out, everything on both sides, so we're good on axles. At this point, all we really need to do is just work on getting the diff itself out. I'm gonna try and do this without taking the, you know, stock exhaust off. because I really want to avoid doing that if I can. So we'll keep moving real quick, get this bad girl out of here, and then we'll swap in our new Johnny over there. Okay, ignore, you know, the drive shaft and whatnot. It's disconnected, it's just not, you know, fully off there. But as I move the camera around to get you motion sickness, we have everything taken off there and everything taken off here. So now we should be good to lower the differential, and then we can pop the new one in place and do this in reverse order. Okay, diff coming down. Oh, whoa, whoa. There we go. Yeah, we're off both. And we are officially stuck in the air, but we're down, which is the important thing. We just got to slowly work our way down. All right, we're gonna get these bushings out. Need a little bit more meat on this to lift it up. Boom. One poly bushing out. Let's flip it over. Boop. All right, and now it's time to put the new bushings in. Should just start pressing in a little bit by hand and then give a good whack. Cool. Same with this side. Okay, all the way down. Now I can put our sleeves in. One good whack. Two good whacks. Yeah, three for good measure. Two on that side, but three for good measure. All right, now we have another diff ready to go in the car. Let's do it. All right, and just like that, we have it back up and running again. So we're looking good. No complaints. All is well. Everything's in tight, bolted down. I just have to obviously put the rest of the exhaust back on, or I might put the aftermarket one on. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. But now we can actually start the car, get on the ground, and then move it again. And that's going to do it for this one. As always, I appreciate y'all for watching. Subscribe, like, do all the stuff, man. We got plenty more to go in regards to both cars. Need to get the other red car on the track. We're getting ready for it. So let's get into it, man. Appreciate y'all. Peace. Enjoy your day.